All right. So let's jump into some book news, since that's what this podcast is supposed to be about.
I know we're like
Uh,
what a ways
so
in, just
The
now talking
Princess
about
and the
books.
Scoundrel.
People are listening like, where you're bookworms? Where's the
We
books?
eh, our listeners are used to this.
Exactly.
We go off base a lot, and then we come back around to books eventually. Let's see. So we have this book coming up, the Princess and the Scoundrel, which is something that we've talked about a little bit already on the show as far as the announcement of it and kind of what it's about. But they just released the cover art for this book. Thoughts?
I like it. I think it is definitely fits the book title and the book plot, right? It's all about Han and Leia's honeymoon, so of course it's going to be more of a romance style cover art.
Yeah,
it's very well done.
It harkens
like
back to the old books.
Yeah,
right?
It does.
Like some of the artwork on kind of the old
Bantam
era, and
yeah,
that even the original Courtship of Princess Leia novel. Not that this is a remake of that, but some of the same themes. And that book kind of had a very kind of painted cover as well. Yeah. So
I really like it. It's very well done.
Yeah, it's well done. And now, as far as the book itself, how excited are you for this book? Han and Leia honeymoon. They're on the.
I'm here for it.
They're on the Halcyon Star Cruiser, right? That's the hotel. So, what is this, a money grab book, or is this going to be a good story? What do you think?
I hope it's a good story. I think Beth Revis has done a good job in some of the other books. So she's done so far. I think, didn't she do? She one of the other younger readers. I'm trying to remember now.
She did.
Yeah, it was one of the Journey to. I'm trying to remember now. Which one did she do?
Yeah, I'm forgetting the title of her book, but we actually interviewed her about it back
Rebel Rising. That's what it was. It was a good one.
Yeah, so she's and she's really cool. So I think it'll be a fun story.
And it's nice to add some variety, I think, to the Star Wars books too. Different types of genres and in many ways, and seeing more of the Halcyon will be really cool. And it's a nice way to tie into the Halcyon,
which we haven't been to yet, but money's on. If I ever go to it, I'm going with you. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I ever get people to go to this thing with me, to the Galactic Star Cruiser at Disney World, it's probably going to be William Devereaux.
Yes, we will have the best time together. I would love it. Let's do it.
I have to like think. I have to not get in my own head and be nervous and introvert. I have to just be like, all right, go all out and just enjoy yourself. And then I think once I get over that hump, I could see myself having a lot of fun there. So, well, staying on the topic of Han Solo, some other news that came out recently is they were showing some preview pages for some upcoming comic issues. And for the comic issue Han Solo and Chewbacca #2, they did an exclusive preview on StarWars.com and revealed that Han Solo's father is going to be in that comic. Now, I'll admit I haven't been keeping up with all the comics. I've been trying to keep up with the High Republic comics.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other kind of one-off series, but I've fallen behind on like the overall Star Wars series, and some of the other ones. So I have not read, or wasn't even really planning to read the Han Solo Chewbacca ones anytime soon. But I did see this and thought it was at least worth noting, because Han Solo's father being in canon as a character that we see is new. That's never happened before, I don't think. Even in Legends, right? They had his uncle.
We've had
his uncle, but I don't think,
never.
I don't think we've ever had his dad.
No.
Did you take a look at the preview images? Do you see it?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I've been like you, a little bit behind on the comics. I have a goal this summer to try to catch up a little bit. We were talking before the show about trying to catch up on some of my reading, and so I want to catch up on Star Wars comics. I'm behind on it, but I do like how they've really tried to do really interesting, unique things with the different Star Wars Marvel series. And they've told some big stories I think we've always wanted to see in the comics. Again, it's something like I'm behind on many of them. But
so does
yeah,
this
I'm excited to see
intrigue
what they
you
do.
enough to pick up the Han Solo Chewbacca series, or are you gonna wait
I probably will wait.
till they collect it into one volume?
Yeah. It's like I think part of the problem is for me, I when I read the comics, I often will I tend to read really quickly. And sometimes I don't appreciate the art enough. I just start reading and I'm like, wait, I just completely missed something because it's told in the art. You have to like really appreciate it. Like we were talking about again, how fast I read oftentimes. And so I think it can have a downside when it
It's
comes
great for novels, not great for comics.
Exactly.
I'm probably the opposite.
Yeah.
I will sit and look at a comic page, and try to pick out all the little details and the images and really appreciate the artwork. So, and it takes me a
beautiful
lot longer.
artwork, but
Yeah.
I wish I did that. I don't have the patience.
That's funny. So I think I'll probably wait until this one gets collected into a volume before I read it. But I did find it interesting. If you read the text in the preview images, it's kind of like Han Solo's even questioning if it's really his dad.
Yeah, like is it like a kind of fake out almost?
Yeah,
It's
like a con artist type of thing.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if maybe it'll be revealed that it's not his dad, and so it won't be as big of a deal. That it's kind of like back when I don't know if you remember, but they said like, oh, Han Solo is married, and there was this.
I remember. I'm still annoyed about that
big thing, and then it just turned out to be kind of
yeah,
a cover story that they had or whatever in the past, and they're whatever. So
I'll be honest, that's one of the things I don't like about the comics. I feel like the comics tend to do a lot more as like, oh, big thing, and then it's like, oh, it's actually nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of how comics work, right? They do the big stunt and show you, try to get the readers to buy an issue and like, look who shows up here.
Right.
So yeah, but it's an interesting idea to bring his dad, and it does seem like they're kind of sticking to what we already know in canon about his dad working at the shipyards, and but it seems like he maybe has inherited some of his scoundrelness from his dad as well. So, and his dad's missing an eye.
Yeah.
Which I don't count any of this as spoilers because this was all officially released on the StarWars.com website. So, but if you're interested in finding out more about Han Solo's dad and where he's at this time, you can pick up that comic. I think that one's coming out.
His dad may or may not be his actual dad.
Yeah, right. His quote unquote dad. When are these coming out? Oh, May 18th. Looks like.
Wow, today it's out now, available.
Oh yeah, so we can go grab this on Comixology or wherever, Marvel.com, or I don't know where people buy their Star Wars comics these days. I have some gripes about Comixology, by the way, but I'll save that for another time as far as them switching up the way that their app works. But all right, so next thing we have, so the High Republic. Once again, I will admit I'm behind on the books. I still have to finish the last couple books that kind of finish out phase 1. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's going on in the story, or like kind of, it seems like there's gonna be some big stuff, characters that maybe don't make it. So
I can neither confirm nor deny.
So you're caught up.
I'm caught up. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not sure. It doesn't look like this reveals too much. But it
doesn't seem to. Yeah.
They did release some more information about phase 2, including a cover of an upcoming book that's going to be in phase 2. This one is going to be written by Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland, co-authors for Path of Deceit. And so they released the cover art for that. Pretty cool looking. It's got like the big Jedi symbol in the background, some mountains, and then we get a what species is this guy holding the lightsaber on the cover? Oh, a Pantoran.
Pantoran? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we get a Pantoran Jedi, and another character known as the Mother, and then another character named Marta Rowe, who is the same species as Marchion Rowe, and I'm assuming related, but they don't say that in the. Once again, I don't know what I don't know because I haven't finished the other books, but I don't know what's been revealed. But
I mean, Marta Rose, like she's almost certainly his
mom or something. You think
great grandmother or something.
Oh, that's true, because it's supposed to be like 130 years
Yeah, or like 200, something like that. It's like a ways. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember now. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's far enough back that it's phase two is probably not going to spoil phase one
Okay, so it
much.
says
You know,
I'm on StarWars.com right now looking at the announcement. It says 150 years before
150. Okay.
the events of phase one. So we're going in the past for people that don't remember, which I thought was kind of a weird decision
Yep.
for High Republic, because they had their phase one, they established all these characters, and then now they're rewinding time back to 150 years previous. So it's going to be all new characters, not the same characters we've been following, which I'm kind of bummed about because I liked some of those characters that we were
Yeah,
following in phase one.
I'm weird in that I don't know about you. It takes me a while to get attached to new characters. And I found that I don't know if we've talked about this before, but like I found that a lot of times it's helpful. You get kind of get attached to, I tend to get attached to another character when they start being, when they're initially introduced, related to someone that I already know. Like, oh, there's this book right about, I don't know, what a main character, right? Or I don't know, The Mandalorian, for example, right? Okay, that sounds really cool. And then you introduce this new character, and then you go off and do spinoffs on that new character. Then I find I'm attached to them more when I start with a brand new book where I have no idea who the characters are. It can take me a while, and oftentimes by the end of the book, I'm more attached. But early on, I'm a lot more detached and really less interested. And not that they're bad characters, it takes me a while personally. And I finally started to get to the point where I'm like really enjoying the characters in the High Republic because we've had a couple books with them now. I'm starting to get used to them, and then it's like, oh, and they're gone. So, like you,
Yeah,
yeah,
they gave us a lot of content, right? I
yeah,
mean,
they
we
did.
had, I don't off the top of my head, I don't know how many novels we've gotten, but it's a lot, right?
9, I think.
Is it 9?
Yeah, because I think
9
it's 3
novels.
per wave
And
in
then we
phase
have
one.
tons of comics that have come out, some standalone graphic novels. So I'm still
Yeah,
catching up on all phase one stuff. Luckily, phase two doesn't come out until February.
right.
So my
Gotta
goal,
wait.
and now I know we were just talking about celebrations next week. I actually have a goal to get caught up on all this, on the High Republic stuff
Ah,
before
nice.
celebration. That way, if I go to the panels that are related to that topic and
No
there's
spoilers.
spoilers, I won't be spoiled. I don't know if I'm going to hit my goal because I'm
You
not a
can do it.
fast
I
reader,
believe in you. I believe in you,
but
Aaron.
I got 2 more novels to read and a bunch of comics. So hopefully I can get
I
through
have
it.
not caught up on the comics, and I probably will not get that done before celebration.
What I've
Maybe I
learned,
should. Maybe I should make that my new goal. I
I would say
don't know.
at first, when I first started reading the comics, the High Republic comics, I was kind of like, okay, these aren't necessary to the story. The more I got into them and read them, especially the Marvel run,
Yeah.
not as much the is it IDW that does the other one?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not as much that one, but the Marvel run really was like, I was, if you didn't know stuff that was happening,
You miss stuff.
well, probably you were
Yeah.
reading the books.
I
There were probably
definitely
times where you're like, wait,
noticed.
how did they get here? Or what are they
Yep.
referring to?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all the stuff that's in the comics.
Yeah.
So, and some of the characters that they briefly mention in the books are main characters in the comics. So you really get to know them a lot more if you read the comics. So I would recommend it for anyone that wants the full story, to go back and read the comics if you skip them. Especially if you're caught up. I mean, what else you can do till February?
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, so I'm intrigued by this, by this book cover and the reveal of the new character. Still disappointed that they're not following the phase one characters, but we'll see what they do. Maybe they're gonna go phase two is a throwback, and then phase three goes back to the old characters, hopefully, because I hope we're not leaving them in the past.
Yeah, they're kind of following the Star Wars film release model.
True. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, do the middle first, then go back, and then go into the future.
Yeah.
So, and then they have the Acolyte show coming up, which is set
in the High Republic, which I'm
in the
excited
High
about.
Republic era, but toward the end of it. So maybe they're purposely like timing it so the phase
that's
three
a great idea.
is a lead up to Acolyte.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wonder which era in the High Republic the Acolyte is set. I don't think they've.
I think they said it's actually pretty close to. So it's at the end of the High Republic era. They said that somewhere in the marketing, that this is kind of at the very end of the High Republic era. So the stories that we're reading about these characters, a lot of these characters will probably already be gone by then, because even the era of High Republic in phase one is still, what didn't they say that was 200 years before the
Yeah,
prequels?
I think so. Yeah.
So now we're going back 350 years.
Yeah.
So Acolyte, I think, is more like 100 years before,
Right.
something like
That makes
that.
sense.
So,
That makes sense.
and anyone that's listening to this can completely fact check me on all this because I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm not looking at any kind of Wikipedia article.
It sounds
right now.
about right. If I going based on memory, but
Yeah,
I could be mistaken.